what morning routine helps you stay consistent with your 8 a.m. gym sessions?
Yeah, so for me, I am up every day at 6:15, Monday to Friday, and it's shower, shake, coffee. So that's my routine. I don't want to cook in the morning. I'm still waking up. I just need something that's easy and fast. So I'll get a shower. I'll have my protein shake with a little bit of peanut butter, and then I'll take 20 minutes and drink a coffee, have the news on. And that is exactly the same Monday through Friday. I'll do the same thing on the weekends, except I'll push the time back.
Welcome to Twitter Household. I'm your host, Mohammed Asfar. Today we're diving into an inspiring story of consistency and dedication. My guest, Ron, is a former Division I basketball player turned real estate investor who's maintained an impressive 25-year fitness streak while building a successful career and raising 3 children. In this episode, we'll explore how his athletic background shaped his approach to business, fitness, and fatherhood. If you're wondering how to maintain a consistent fitness routine while juggling a demanding career and family life, this episode is for you. How did a former college athlete transition into a successful real estate career while maintaining his fitness for over 2 decades? Let's find out from Ron himself. Taking care of your body is non-negotiable, especially as a element goal. That's why I trust BioSteel for clean hydration without the sugar crash. Use code MNYY1417 at checkout for up to 25% off. Let's prioritize health so we can be there for the ones we love.
Ron, welcome to Fit That Hustle. Thank you for joining us today. You played Division I basketball at Marshall University. How did that experience shape your approach to discipline and success?
Yeah, so first off, thanks for having me on, Mohammed. I appreciate it. You know, for me, growing up as a kid, I always wanted to play college basketball and spent a lot of time practicing, worked very hard to achieve that. So a lot of time went into that, and it's something that, for me, I've carried that throughout my career where to me, it's proof. If you want something bad enough and you're willing to work hard enough and you're driven, you can achieve that. And I've used that throughout my entire career. So for me, that's again, something I've just carried along with me.
That's great. That's great. After 16 years as a financial planner at Fidelity, what inspired your transition into real estate investing?
Well, first off, I absolutely love real estate, really enjoy it. But most importantly, I wanted my time back. I spent 16 years in the corporate world and wanted to be financially free, so to speak. And I had to find a way to replace my W-2 income with something else. And what real estate did is real estate provided that. So I was able to do that through real estate. So I wanted something different. I wanted my time to be able to do what I want, when I want, and that's what real estate was able to provide for me.
That's amazing. And how did your athletic background influence your business mindset?
Well, drive and motivation. It's, if you want something bad enough, you need to put a plan together and work towards that. And I've done that throughout my career, working, and then now with my own business. Back in college when I was playing, we would start each year, both in the weight room and on the court. We'd put a plan together. What goals do we want to achieve in the weight room? What do we want to achieve on the court? And we would work towards that. We have individual goals, team goals, and we'd start and take a look at that at each year, at the beginning of the year. And we'd have that, we'd work towards that throughout the year.
Yeah, it makes sense. I can resonate with that too. I didn't play at your level. I played high school. But yeah, like you see where you want to be and then you evaluate your performance and all that. And you've implemented that into your business as well, which helped you accomplish where you are today. That's great. That's great. Now, with 3 kids spanning different age groups, 22, 21, and 10, how do you adapt your parenting and time management strategies?
Well, honestly, that can be challenging. What we do, we have a family calendar and we make sure everything is on that so we don't miss anything. My wife and I, we share the responsibility. We'll take a look and divide up what's on the calendar for the week. And we use that to really make sure that it's not too hectic, that one of us is not overwhelmed. But we love to have that schedule and try to stick to that. And it's easier for me if I can see that and have a schedule, and sticking to that really helps us. But there's times when it's a busy days or things overlap and you just have to make it a priority to do it. But it can be a little hectic at times, especially right now in the winter when we're, playing basketball, my kids, I'm coaching, that can make it definitely a little more challenging, and it's a busy time of year for us.
Yeah, so that leads us to the question of you coaching your kids basketball. How does sharing your passion in basketball with your children, how does that impact your relationship with them?
Well, so my father was my high school basketball coach, and he also coached some of my other teams when I was younger. And for me, that was an awesome experience. I love it, and I want that same experience for my kids if possible. And it brings us closer as a family. It definitely, my relationship with my dad, it made us closer. We got to experience a lot of great things. There's some challenging times, with coaching your kids. And if there's a bad game, and I can remember high school, that car ride home with my dad, those weren't always fun. So, but I would trade it for anything in the world, even when there's tough times, when, he was expecting more of me and pushing me. Looking back now, I would not change that for anything in the world. And I would love to have that same experience, for my kids.
Yeah, I can see that with my kids too. I'm not a team coach, but I work on their development, both basketball and soccer. And I totally agree with you. I know exactly what you're talking about, is that connection. At least I'm there for them to emotionally, and not only just emotionally as a father, but also as a development coach. That's what I just work on with them, and it's sometimes it's hard talks. Like, I'm not always with them. Yeah, I'm your dad. Yeah, well, you had a good game. No, if you had a bad game, I'm gonna tell you had a bad game, because you gotta take it in, because you can't keep going out like this in the real world where, you think, oh, you just had a good game, and then you really didn't, because there's going to be a coach out there, whether you pursue this in college or in professional level, they're going to give you a hard talk. They're not gonna baby you.
Yeah.
So they have to learn that from now and appreciate it. And like I've had my kids as well. I had this thing as just as motivation, though. It's not just to pressure them. I tell them, if you miss a layup, you'll do a squat on the wall for 1 minute each miss, So then I saw one of them wasn't listening, He just doing whatever. I'm like, you know what? That's done. I'm not gonna do it anymore. So today they're like, no, please do it, Dad. Do it. We want to do it, I'm like, are you sure? Is that what you guys want? Like, yeah. It basically. So what I said, it motivated them, It motivated them that yeah, I have something that I need to work on, and they felt that, yeah, I need this in my life, which is good. Like, I was very impressed. Like, I thought it was like, oh, they're gonna be like happy about it. We don't have to do it anymore, because as long as they're doing 5 minutes, 10 minutes, like, it's hard, but I tell them, like, go up a little bit, but keep your knees a little bit bent, and then go back again, just to rest your knees,
Yeah, you have to motivate them, push them and coach them. And I tell them, if I'm not coaching you and pushing you, or if some other coach is not pushing you, it means they don't care.
Exactly.
I want to push them and motivate them. And I tell them if they're doing something wrong, you're not doing it right. I tell them if they have a great game, they did a great job. But so when they're not doing things the right way, or they're not playing well, you have to get that across to them as well.
Yeah, and we have to always explain to them, like, how they can do better too. Like, not just say, yeah, it was a bad game or a bad shot. No. Like, for example, the other day, my son had a match. It was like within the team, they had a game. He did really well, but he wasn't finishing, like the basket was in, but there were good shots. So I told him, you're doing everything great, but you got to finish, because at the end of the day, you got to win. So you gotta finish, but everything else was great. Your dribbling, your crossovers and all that, and your shot, they were on target. They were nice shots. They hit the rim, but you got to focus on finishing, because you're at that level, you're not just learning this now. Okay. You've been doing this for a while. So you got to be at that point now, because you got to level up. You got to keep hitting that next level as well.
Yeah.
And his coach told him the same thing.
Yeah. I like to find, after a game, try to find 2 to 3 things that I point out that they did well, and then one thing that they need to work on that they just didn't do well or need to improve on, so that you're not just overwhelming them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or, reinforcing that, hey, you're doing this well, but we need to work on this, or this could be better.
That's definitely true. I agree with that 100%. Yeah. So you've maintained a consistent gym routine for 25 years. What's your current workout schedule like?
Yeah, so right now I'm working out 5 days a week. Monday through Friday. I like to take the weekends off completely. What I do though, Monday to Friday, I typically work out each body part about every 8 to 9 days is the cycle. I will do some form of cardio at the end of every workout, whether that's walking or running on the treadmill. But I make sure to do something at the end of each workout, cardio-wise. And then the weekends, if I do anything on the weekend, it may be just a walk outside, but not at the gym. I'm not at the gym Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, like for me, I don't hit the gym. I do my own workouts at home. But yeah, weekends for me is recovery. I just do 5 days a week, and then weekends I'm just off. And just like you said, just if anything, it's just a walk, whether out on the mall with the kids or walking outside or, just doing some errands or whatever.
Yeah. I don't like to do any weight training, anything like that on the weekend.
Yeah, that's great. So how has your fitness routine evolved from your college basketball days to now?
Well, it's quite a bit different. I mean, while I was playing in college, there was a heavy focus on legs and core strength, as well as speed and quickness. We did very little upper body exercises. We did some, but not a lot. It was, lower body, a lot of squats, back squats and front squats, and your core strength was the focus. After college, all throughout my 20s, I wanted to be as big and as strong as possible. So I went heavy. I tried to put on muscle, put on weight. I was eating whatever I want and did no cardio. It was about bulking up and just being as strong as possible. That was in my 20s. Now, again, it's completely different. I'm not going anywhere near as heavy. There are certain exercises I don't do anymore. I don't want to have any injuries, anything. And I always do cardio now. So I still push myself on weights and reps. But again, I want no injuries and more of a focus on cardio than just, heavy. Everything in my 20s was heavy, just, I want to get stronger, I want to get bigger. So it's very, very different now.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I went I bulked up in my college times, big biceps, big chest and all that. Did the creatine with protein, just kept going at it. And then, after that, I just left it. Didn't do much of the fitness. And when I got married, because I wanted to get into really good shape for my kids and to be a good example, went into HIIT, Pilates, yoga, functional fitness. And then that's where I started my journey as becoming a fitness coach. And it's totally different. It's home-based. I have some weights, but they're very lightweight, mostly body weight, and some of the bands as well. So yeah, it's just about strength. I just focus on strength now. I don't really care about the bulking up like before. So yeah, after time, it does change as well. Yeah,
it really does. I'm in that same spot now. It's just a very different focus.
Yeah, definitely. So what motivated you to maintain such consistency with your workouts, especially during major life transitions?
Yeah, so I make it a high priority. It does help me that I enjoy going to the gym. That makes it easier. So I'm maybe a little bit different than others there, but I've been doing it for, such a long time now, 25 years. But you have to take your health seriously, and it's, everybody's heard the saying, you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have your health, it means nothing. I mean, everybody's probably heard that. So I want to be around for my kids as long as I can, hopefully grandkids one day. And that means being healthy. So as life changes, what I've done, I've had to adjust my workout schedule. But you still need to do it. I didn't always work out at 8 a.m. I used to work out at 5 p.m. right after work. That was a little harder, but that was for, 16 or so years. But either way, I always made sure to get there, get to the gym.
Yeah, it's definitely for me as well. Life was different for me when I was doing my workouts when I was married. We started meeting my wife at nighttime, and it was like evening time, and we just kept going at it for a couple of years. And then life changed, schedule changed, her schedule changed, my schedule changed. And then I now, from then on, I just started early mornings, 5 a.m. and just doing my workouts. Between 5, 6 a.m. I start doing my workouts because the things change. But like you said, it's what's important is that you got to do it. Like some people might say, oh, is it better to do mornings or at night? Well, what's your schedule? It's all about your schedule. Just put in that, whether it's an hour, 15 minutes, half an hour, as long as you get it done. So yeah, you just can't let the life changes get in the way. Just gotta fit it in.
Yeah, it has to be a priority. Absolutely.
Definitely, I agree. As a former athlete, how has your nutrition approach changed over the years?
Well, not now, not as many calories right now. I'm not as active. When I was in college playing, we had practice 2 hours every day, then the weight room. Before the season started, we had, doing our training on the track, conditioning, and then individual workouts on the court. So I had to eat a lot more calories. I was burning more calories. So that's very different now. What I do now, I am high protein diet. I'm a meat eater. I love meat. That's easy for me. High protein diet mixed in with veggies and fruit. A little bit of fat through maybe like almonds and some peanut butter, but very low carbs. Low carbs for me, that's just, if you're not burning enough calories, you're not burning those carbs, they turn to fat so it's different. It's lower calories and just higher protein at this point versus playing in college.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. It makes sense a lot because you're not burning as much as you used to. So it makes sense to make that change. So what's your strategy for maintaining energy throughout your busy schedule?
Yeah, so for me, I have protein shakes between meals, coffee, and walking. And that's what I do. I'll have 2 cups of coffee, sometimes 3, but I don't drink anything else other than coffee and water. And then if there's a day where I'm either stressed or low energy, I will go on a walk. And a lot of people think that's counterintuitive as far as, walking and energy. They'll think you'll have less energy, but it's actually the opposite. If you do cardio or walking, that will give you energy. It's protein shakes, coffee, and walking.
Yeah, that's great. Walking is definitely a go-to. I always tell people, just walk. Even if you don't want to exercise, just take a walk. Take a 30-minute walk,
Well, it's to leave. Here's your head.
Definitely. So how do you balance social life and family meals with staying fit?
So for me, I'm not the type of person that likes to go out much. That's easier for me. I don't, not as social. That's, my wife and I are a little bit different there. She's more social than I am, but we make sure to almost every night of the week, we cook our own meals and we will go out to eat maybe once per week. So we're cooking. We know the food we're eating and it's healthy, and she does a great job cooking. I try to help as much as I can, but I'm not a good cook. So we cook our meals almost every night a week, and that's so much, even financially, it's so much cheaper. Eating out is so expensive.
That's true.
For the people that eat out 5, 6 nights a week or at lunch, I don't know how they do it in terms of it's so expensive now. It's crazy. So not only is it healthier, but it's easier on the wallet as well.
That's true. Like even like some people, what they're eating, like they don't even know what they're eating. Like they're just eating anything. Like there are some places that are healthy. There are some places that are good for you to eat. But like you said, it's also financially, it can really burn the wallet. But there are people that are just eating from anything, anywhere. And you gotta be very specific in what you eat. Like for example, when we vacation, like me and my family. Okay, the wife is not gonna really cook, during our vacation, but we're very specific on where we're gonna eat, We gotta still maintain the regimen that we're in. Like for me, it's like yourself, I'm a low carb guy. I like the protein, the high protein, all that, so I'm still maintaining that, but I'm choosing specific places to eat, I'm not just eating anything. And that's something that's very important as well.
Absolutely. That's smart to do that. And we're very similar on vacations, trying to do the same thing.
That's great. So what morning routine helps you stay consistent with your 8 a.m. gym sessions?
Yeah. So for me, I am up every day at 6:15, Monday to Friday. And it's shower, shake, coffee. So that's my routine. I don't want to cook in the morning. I'm still waking up. I just need something that's easy and fast. So I'll get a shower. I'll have my protein shake with a little bit of peanut butter, and then I'll take 20 minutes and drink a coffee, have the news on. And that is exactly the same Monday through Friday. I'll do the same thing on the weekends, except I'll push the time back. I probably won't get up till, I'll try to sleep till maybe 7:30 if I can, but sometimes that's hard to do. But it's still the same routine, for as far as what I'm eating, drinking in the morning.
That's awesome. We've touched on this a little bit on the weekends. So how do you recover and recharge during your weekend breaks from working out?
Yeah, so I try to do as little as possible. I don't want anything really on the schedule. We try to keep our weekends open, and that's more of a mental thing where we're not rushed. We don't have 3 or 4 things to do on Saturday or Sunday. We can just relax, take our time, and we'll do some things, but we don't want it on the schedule. In the summer, we'll sit by the pool and just relax, recharge. We do, and we talked about this earlier, but we will try to, if the weather is nice, walk each day. But that's just, we're not pushing ourselves there. It's just a nice walk. But my thing is, I want to do as little as possible, schedule open. That's it. However, for me, it's more of a mental recharge, I guess.
Yep, I agree. I do the same thing. Like even weekends, I don't even carry my wallet. I just leave it. Everything is on the phone now. I got all my IDs. I got everything on the phone, So I'm just carrying my phone and I'm leaving my wallet. Even my phone sometimes, I'll just put it on silent or I'll just turn it off. I'll just turn it on if I need to. It's just, I don't want anyone I need to recharge for the next week, because it's hectic.
Absolutely. Just the schedule and not having anything. And I think that's a great point, to just leave your phone and not look at your phone. I try to do that working throughout the week for certain periods and hours, but that's a good point.
Yeah, definitely. What advice would you give to dads struggling to maintain their fitness while building a career?
Yeah, so I've actually had a chance, and I've asked a very similar question to a lot of successful entrepreneurs that had been for years, and that's one of the first things they mentioned is, okay, what's your health, fitness? What are you doing there? Start there. So if you make that a priority, your career will improve. It will be better. If you focus on your health and fitness, you're going to have less stress, more energy, a better routine. So making that a priority will lead trickle down to your career or business. But you have to put that, at the top if you want to be successful in your career.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I've had these talks as well, and a lot of them feel that they need to put in that 1 hour, and they don't have that 1 hour. It's like, okay, so how much do you have? You have 15 minutes? Trust me, 15 minutes, I can give you a plan, and you're gonna have a really good workout, and it's just at home, body workout, no weights, nothing, and you're good to go, but it's also, I feel that it's an educational thing. That a lot of people are just programmed because of that's what others do. So they think that's how it's supposed to be done as well. So if they give themselves a chance to have a talk with someone that has a little experience, that has yourself, who's putting it as a priority, and you're putting like, for you, it's an hour, and that's because of you. That's what you want, right? But I'm sure that if you talk to a dad or someone that's talking about it sometime, he will tell them, why don't you just put in 5 minutes or just go for a walk, just like we said just now, but sometimes they're not willing to listen, because they feel like, I don't know, there's a barrier or something,
Yeah, and that can be a tough thing to mind shift or focus, where if they want to advance their career, they feel like they have to be spending more time on their career, working even longer, versus, having that health and fitness mindset can really lead to improvements in their career if they put more time and energy into that.
Exactly. Ron, you've built an incredible career in real estate, and I know you're passionate about helping others succeed in this space. Can you tell us more about your company, what it does, and how it helps investors?
Yeah, absolutely. So our investors, what we do for them is we help create additional income and build wealth. And we do that by investing in real estate. And The real estate that we invest in, it's able to provide great tax benefits, great returns, and while being a really stable asset class and on the lower end, the more conservative end as far as that goes. And really the benefit to our investors is not just tax, the benefits and returns, but it's completely hands-off. It's completely passive. They don't have to do anything. We do that for them. And we really have a different take where we set the bar high as far as our investor returns go. We've looked at in the last year, over 100 deals that we passed on, and we could have made money on those for our investors, but it wasn't enough. So something that is different for us and how we stand out is that the bar is set higher for our returns for our investors. And if the numbers aren't there for our investors, we don't do the deal. And that's something that's really helped us to build and grow.
So when you say hands off, it's just that they just provide the amount and then you just take care of the property management and everything else, or how exactly?
Exactly. They will obviously fund the deal. We do everything from acquiring the deal, closing the deal, managing the asset throughout the life of the asset, providing tax returns every year. It really is completely hands off. Most people do not want to be a landlord. If you talk to people, they try to avoid the 3 T's: tenants, toilets, and termites. So they want no part of that, and I get it. I've been dealing with that for over a decade now. So they can do that where they're just going to sit back, collect the income, grow their wealth, and we take care of that for them.
Okay, now we do have some international listeners. You're based in the States. Anybody that's international, is this open to anyone that's international or just U.S. residents?
I believe it is. That is something that we'd have to run by our attorney, but I believe it's possible. There might be a few extra steps involved, but I think we're able to do that.
Okay, that's great. That's amazing. Where can listeners go to learn more about your company and connect with you?
Yeah, so the best place to start would be our website, which is Bluegrass Wealth Ventures with an S on the end.com. Bluegrasswealthventures.com. You can contact us through the website. The website really lays out the steps and exactly what we do. You can also contact me. My email is ron.dawn, DAWN, at bluegrasswealthventures.com. But again, you could also use the website, but that's the best place to start.
Okay, great. Thanks for sharing that, Ron. I'll make sure to include those details in the show notes so listeners can easily find you.
Thank you.
No problem. How do you hope your commitment to fitness influences your children?
Well, so, we talked about a lot of the benefits of working out, the positive impact it can have on people. I feel like if they see me doing that, I believe there's a much higher likelihood that they'll do it as well. So I hope they do the same. I try to lead by example. I've seen that. My mother and father, my mother is 70 years old. My dad is 68. They go to the gym 6 days a week. They've been doing that forever. So for me, I've seen my mother and father go to the gym and talk about working out my entire life. And it was always something that I felt like was a normal part of life. And everybody does it, even though everybody does not. When you see your family doing that or your parents, it just becomes a normal everyday thing. So I hope that, my kids, they see me doing that and they'll do the same.
What are your future goals in real estate, fitness, and family life?
Yeah, so from a real estate standpoint, we set goals every year. We really hope to just each year do 2 really good deals in terms of just strong returns. I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of deals we look at every single week and we pass on those. So we're just looking for really just 2 good solid deals every year and just growing our investor base organically from the inside out. As far as fitness goes, that's a little different each year. This year, I would love to lose fat, burn fat, and add a little muscle. I think a lot of people probably want to do that. That is challenging, but that is my goal for this year, is just to drop some body fat. From a family standpoint, we would like to spend more time together. We enjoy outdoor activities. We love to be outdoors, and I'm hoping that we can spend more time doing that. And my wife and I really try hard every 2 weeks we have a date night. And I think it's important to have, your time with the kids and have the time with your spouse. And both of those and separate that. So we really make that a focus to have something on the calendar every 2 weeks where we can just get away and just it's us two.
That's great. What legacy do you want to leave for your children regarding health and success?
Yeah, so I want them to, I hope they understand and see the importance of health and fitness and, start early. I mentioned if they see me going to the gym, I think that's something that, again, they'll understand is important and leading by example. Financially, I am trying to, and I've sat them down and trying to teach them early that you build wealth with assets. And I don't want them trading their time for money at a 9-to-5 corporate job forever. I did that for over 16 years, but I want them to understand that the way you build wealth is with assets. When you acquire assets, you build the wealth and you create income. And if you're able to do that, you're free forever. You're financially free. Something that I've always, that stuck with me is a job. If you have a job, your job pays your bills. Assets pay your lifestyle. And that right there is exactly what I'm trying to, and hopefully can just get across to them.
Asfar can maintain a 25-year fitness streak while building a real estate empire and coaching his kids' basketball teams. You can find time for your health too. His journey from Division I athlete to a successful businessman and involved dad proves that consistency beats intensity. Whether you're a former athlete looking to reclaim your fitness or a busy dad starting from scratch, it's never too late to prioritize your health. Ready to create your own success story? Book a call with me today and let's design a fitness strategy that fits your schedule and goals. Like Ron says, your health should be a top priority. Just 1 hour a day can transform your life. Let's make it happen. Thank you, Ron, for sharing your incredible journey with us. I hope every dad listening feels inspired to prioritize their health. Before we wrap up, I want to remind you that Ron's company helps investors succeed in real estate. If you're interested in learning more, visit Bluegrass Wealth Ventures.com or check out show notes for links. And thanks to BioSteel for powering this podcast. Staying hydrated and energized is key, especially for busy dads. Use code MNYY1417 for up to 25% off your next order. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this episode with a dad who might need to hear this message. Until next time, stay strong, stay connected, and keep hustling.